Yo everyone, what is up? Welcome back to another video. So more or less like a sit down kind of chit chat video, so just stick with me for now. But more or less what I want to go through today is the key steps that we can take into our everyday life that's going to help promote basically fat loss. So last year I done 2 10-week cuts, took kind of 1 or 2 things from both scenarios that will more or less try and help you that's watching with that fat loss goal in mind. So if you're like new to more or less to kind of fat loss, I'm going to kind of try and break it down as simple as I can and then more or less explain it then as I go. So I've got the good whiteboard back out. I'm going to flip it around. Okay, so what I have is basically 4 separate sections that I'm going to try and go through as quick as I can and then obviously try and make it as simple as I can. So first one is basically just calories and protein. Okay, so with calories and protein, what you want to do is more or less what you want to find is the daily amount for both particular ones. So with what I'm going to explain is more or less just going to be like a rough estimate. You can break it down where you can get like kind of nitty gritty and work it out via sums and stuff like that, but we're going to just kind of go rough estimates, stuff that I've given people that has worked and stuff that I've used that has worked. So for men, so we'll go men and women here. So for men, anywhere between 2,500 to 3,000 calories to burn a day. So roughly probably in the higher end 3,000. So we want to keep the calories lower than that. So with calorie deficit, you want to, or fat loss for example, you want to try and keep your calories lower than what you're burning. So for example, for men, if you're burning 3,000 calories a day, you want to be taking in less calories than that to help promote fat loss. So for men, I'd recommend anywhere between 2,600 to 2,800 to begin with. So let's say we're doing this over like an 8-week period. You'd start off probably either between 26 to 2,800 initially over the course of that first 2 weeks, and then keep it accountable for it. So like weigh-ins, pictures, and then obviously if it's not where it should be shifting, we'll obviously have a look at it, break it down, and then go from there. For women, again based off stuff I've seen, anywhere between 1,500 to 1,700 to begin with. So emphasis on to begin with, because as we move more and more into your weeks, the calories will drop a little bit. We're not going too low, so we're not going like bare minimum poverty calories here, but you want to drop them ever so slightly as the weeks go on. Then as we get to protein, okay, so with protein, obviously because we're going to be more active, there is a actual sum for protein to find your protein levels, but the more active you are, the higher that number is to multiply it off your body weight, for example. But what we'll do is we'll use like 1.7 times body weight. So basically whatever weight you are in kg, we'll go with kg, and you're going to multiply that number by 1.7, and then the number you get is basically going to be the grams of protein that you take a day. So what you'll do is you'll more or less aim for these 2 numbers here, so your calories per day and your protein per day. Once them 2 numbers are hit, everything should be good. So once you're keeping within your calories, keeping hitting your protein, will obviously help promote fat loss and keeping that muscle mass up nice and high as we drop down the calories. Off that then, basically what we'll do is keep a count for your calories. So how are we going to keep a count for your calories? So the app that I usually tell people to use, and everyone's probably heard of it already, is the MyFitnessPal. Okay, so you just download it from the App Store. More or less what it does, it gives you like a breakdown of each and every food that you're taking in. It actually has a barcode scanner on it, so more or less what you can do, flip the packet or whatever you're having around, scan it, it'll give you the breakdown per grams. So for example, let's say I'm eating like mince, it'll give me like 100 grams and the breakdown, the calories, the protein, the carbs and the fats, and then all you have to do is put in the amount that you're taking in. So let's say you're after buying a 400 gram pack of mince, you're eating half the pack, let's just put 200 grams in, you'll get the overall calories, protein, fats and carbs, and then you can work that off then obviously then total amounts. So that'd be one thing I'd say for you to use. It is going to be a little bit difficult to begin with, but as you move through the weeks it will get a little bit easier to kind of manage. Just stick to it is what I would say. As I said, it's going to get easier as you go on. After that then, what we do is there's little tools and that we could help with these numbers here. So if you are a person, let's say that like doesn't eat breakfast, likes to eat very late in the evening, what you could potentially do is get up, have your water, have your coffee, don't eat in the morning. Save your calories for the evening time. So then when it does come to the evening time, that you're not like raiding the presses for like biscuits and stuff like that, that you have the calories to have bigger meals in the evening time. So if you're a person that does like that, you could not eat in the morning time. So that would be intermittent fasting. So basically, just don't eat in the morning. Just have your water, have your Americano coffee, wait for the evening time, and then have your food then. If you're the flip side of that, if you're a person that like really enjoys breakfast, but when it comes to evening time, you're not really bothered, you're kind of busy, you're a busy day in work, and then when you get home, all you want to do is just kind of chill out and then go to bed early. You could do it the opposite way. So you could have like a big smoothie in the morning, so that would get like some of your calories in, and then have obviously a nice lunch, and then maybe like a small-ish kind of dinner when you go home. So then you're still overall hitting that same two numbers here. Okay, so that would be something that you could potentially use either morning or evening fasting. Off that then, okay, so as you move down, so we're going to go down to training now. With training, obviously, as I said, we want to have our calories going out higher than the calories you're taking in. Okay, so with training, that's going to help push them calories out. So you're going to burn more calories as you're training. What I would recommend is set out a routine. So basically, you're going to set out a routine. So whether that be in a gym of your own or with like a training gym, like a semi-private personal trainer, like I coach it myself. If you're in something along the lines of that, set a routine. So what I mean is set out days that you're always going to go, times you're always going to come to, and then stick to them times. Stick to that schedule, because if you're in that schedule, it's going to come more routine. As I said, it'll get easier then as you go along. If you have it like basically ticked off every week that you're hitting this time, this day, and then you're going from there. As well as that, if you're like the type of person that is going to, let's say, like a Fly Fit, or let's say for example like a Fit for Less, set out a program. So make sure that you're under a good structured program that you're going to progress on, so that you keep account for it. So you can keep like a notebook, write down like your lifts that you're doing, write down the weight you lifted, and then try and push through that. So try and aim to get maybe a little bit heavier or even more reps on that particular exercise. Stick to that program, and then you're going to see results then, as well as obviously the fat loss dipping down. With your training then, what I would recommend is, if you are doing this, get a good balance. So make sure that you're having both weights and cardio involved in your training. So probably set off like your program to be like heavy weight lifting at the start, pushing you through. Off that, do some accessory work, and then finish with some cardio or cardio based movements. You can go kind of two ways with your cardio. As you get deeper into your deficit, I'd probably aim for one, but basically when you're starting off, you could go for two different ones. So first one being HIIT training. So HIIT is just high intensity interval training, so it's like fast pace, like 10-minute block of like a couple of different movements. It could be even just a cardio block, but it's like fast pace. Lower intensity is what I'd recommend as you get into the latter stages. It's just low intensity movement, so it could be like, let's say like 20 minutes on a treadmill, for example. Not that you don't want to do 20 minutes on a treadmill, but how an hour. But let's say like 20 minutes on like a Stairmaster or something along the lines of that. So it's just steady pace, so you're not like sprinting, it's just a steady pace throughout for 20 minutes, still burning high calories. The reason why I'm saying I'd push it more towards the end is because you'd be obviously a little bit more tired, because you're lacking in calories that you would have been taking the weeks beforehand. So you don't really want to push yourself too hard. Like we could do like genuinely, but for me personally, this is what I would stick to towards the end. You're still shifting calories out, but just at a lower pace, and you're able to kind of keep up that same standard throughout for that 20 minutes, for example. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. But yeah, as I said, so track your progress, structure program, and then keep an eye on it as the weeks go on. Then as you move across, we're going outside activities now. So with outside activities, it's more or less, it's all kind of contributing to, again, that calorie output. So with outside activities, the more we do, the more calories we're going to burn, so the more active you are. So little things, right? So like walks. So for example, with walks, you could do like 1 to 2 maybe long walks a week. Like a couple of different areas, like let's say like Dunleary Pier, or let's say like the waterworks. And then off that, you could probably do some hikes, so like some, let's say some mountain hikes. So could be like the Sugarloaf, just for example, yeah. All of that is more or less contributing to steps. So with steps, the more we do, the higher the calorie output is. So for example, if you're at the minute like hitting, let's say roughly like 5,000 steps per day, you could probably up that. So let's say starting off, you could probably aim to 5 to 7. As the weeks go on, we're aiming for 7 to 10, and then so on and so on. There's little things that you can help up them steps a little bit. So even just little small things like parking your car further away from your job, taking the stairs instead of like the escalator, for example, or the lift. Little things like that will always contribute to that overall mark. If you are a person that's really busy from Monday to Friday, you could go with like a weekly goal. So it could be like a weekly goal, let's say, for example, we'll go back to that 5,000. So 35,000. So it could be a case of like, let's say, from Monday to Friday, let's say you've only hit 20,000. But then by Saturday and Sunday, we could probably try and keep a little bit more active. You can probably keep Saturday more or less as a rest, getting a little bit of steps in, and then that Sunday you could probably go for like a hike walk or something like that, like walk Brighthead or something like that. So that could be a thing if you are really busy. Go with that weekly total of calories, and then go from there. There is little things that you could do to basically calculate this. So you could go with the higher end, where it'll be like buy a Garmin, which will calculate your steps. So that's like higher end, or else you could buy like just a step counter. So I think they literally sell them in Argos, I think, for like €20 or so. Now they're not going to be 100% accurate, but once you kind of roughly know where you're at, and once it's not like counting as like you shake your hand. And the last thing, the cheaper end of it, if you are a person that has their phone, if you're a person that has your phone in your pocket the whole time, obviously it's a little bit harder for women, I know, because you don't necessarily always have pockets, but for lads, it could be like download, so not buy, download. There's a free app you can get called Pacer, and it's roughly, it gives you that rough kind of like where you're at more or less for your steps. So that could be 3 things where you could more or less calculate exactly where you are. Last thing then, life. So obviously life will always come into play with like these 3 factors here. But what you want to think is, for example, if there's a thing of like, let's say like a weekend is coming up where you know you're going to be a little bit more over with your calories. It could be like a birthday, wedding, even just going out for a few casual drinks. What you could do more or less is obviously up your outside activities a little bit more, so get more steps in. On top of that, what we could do is more or less we could save calories from here. So the way you could do it is, let's say you had a weekend activity, save, so think of it like a bank, try and save like 200 calories from Monday to Friday. Obviously you want to try and implement this all first, but you could save like a couple of calories per day, and then that way when you do get to that Saturday or the Sunday, that you have extra calories that you save during the week. So subtract 200 off your daily amount from Monday to Friday. That way you'll have like 1,000 calories extra for them couple of drinks or a bite of food or whatever you're doing the weekend. As well as that, what you want to think, if you are drinking as well, try and aim for like something that's going to be a little bit lower in calories. So it could be like spirits, and then like mixed with like 0 calorie drinks or tonics. Stay away from like heavy stuff like Guinness. If you're a person that drinks Guinness, even try have 1 or 2 and then switch. And then cider as well, it's pretty heavy, so try and switch to something that's going to be lower in calorie, that's not going to just like shift your calories way beyond all your hard work from Monday to Friday. The last thing that I would say with life, try and make basically fitness revolve around your life. So try not to like, try more or less keep it within your routine. So as I said, once you get that routine set in place, so once you get that structure and schedule on a weekly basis, so once we have everything set, everything should be a little bit better. But yeah, so they're the 4 kind of things that I wanted to go through, more or less 4 things that helped me along my path, and then that I've obviously put across to other people that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. But I wanted to more or less put this up just to kind of help 1 or 2 people that may not have been in touch with me before, or else people that have been in touch with me but just want to know a little bit more about that. So yeah, I'll just show you this really quick if you can see it. So yeah, that's all I kind of wanted to go through today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Pop it a like down below if you did, and well, stay tuned again. So I'm going to pop some more content up, meal plans, as I said, and then a couple of other bits and pieces, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, thanks for listening if you stayed this long, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.